Hello everyone and welcome back to another Genshin video. As per always, a new version is up and a new main event just ended. And well, we're here to take a look at it. As before, I'm just gonna make this camera smaller and put some gameplay in the background, although there isn't gonna be much. You're gonna see a lot of loops, that's for sure, because oh man, this patch was definitely something. So, today we are taking a look at the 3.4 Archon quest and main event. We had a new dainslief quest, and the main event was Windblume, a second time that Windblume has appeared, and let's tackle this one as it's gonna be a pretty quick one. So, again, this is the second time that Windblume has appeared. First one was around 1.4 to 1.5, and I remember it was a pretty decent patch, okay on the story. Gameplay-wise, it was nice. They had some sort of like Fall Guys kind of platforming challenge thing. It was okay, it was decent, it kind of felt like Takeshi's Castle even at some point. Like, it was a cute thingy, and many people wished that that sort of gameplay would come back. With this year's Windblume, it didn't. Spoilers. And unfortunately, yeah, they should have brought it back, because holy fuck. Oh my goodness. What happened this Windblume? So, this time, Windblume mostly sucked. Story-wise, it was much better than Lantern Rite last patch and the Inazuma Oni Festival, the previous patch. So thankfully that's that. But gameplay-wise, boy. I'll give my opinions on the story first. I think it was okay. Like, it was good. First part, because there's three parts to the story. First part, I felt there was a bit too much dialogue, and it felt like it would never end. It was insane. Like, I seriously feel like there was a lot of filler dialogue in there. I also, like, loved to reuse Senno's bad jokes thingy, like, 3 times in 5 minutes. Like, listen, I know Senno tells bad jokes, but I don't need you to have it 3 times in 5 minutes. They reused the thing in other parts of the story, and that's fine, because that's a whole different part of the story. Other things have happened, like, but they sit at a camp and then Senno tells like 5 jokes and the camera waits 10 seconds above their heads and shit. And I'm like, stop. Do it once or twice maximum with a pretty big gap, not this, please. But that was the first part. It was... Second part was good. And the third one was decent. I think that the problem with the story in general, well, mostly for the first and second parts, is that the story is very much tied to the Genshin manga, which is a prequel. So if you haven't read it, you will miss on a lot of context that helps understand the story, but most importantly, it helps understand the character's emotions, feelings, and reactions to things. That's the big thing that I think that is missing if you don't read the manga and go to the Windblume story, which they could have very easily promoted before Windblume, you know? And also finish the translation, because apparently they've left it close to the end. And then for the third part, it's not really a problem. But for the third part, they kind of copied Re:Zero. I'm sorry, but it's so blandly. It's not. It's most likely they did not copy this thing. But holy fuck, is it so like? It's like, what else is it, man? It's a tea party with witches, and it's like on a hill, like. It's literally Ekidona's tea parties with inside. I think it was called the Citadel of Dreams. I think that's what it was called, or something like that. Like, it's exactly that. Like, holy shit! Like, you can't make this up. A group of witches that sits and has tea parties. It's literally Arc 4. I'm sorry, but overall the story was good. It was simple with nice character interactions, but again, you might need a bit more context on a few things. But yeah. And that's the story part of the event. As for gameplay, it was dog shit. Holy fuck, this must be the whole gameplay side of this event is definitely the new low for a main event. It was so boring. I genuinely did not want to play. Like, I would finish the story, go to the NPCs to play the minigame, because for some reason you need to interact with the NPC to play the minigame, and they have like 5 paragraphs of dialogue before you can start the mini games. Why do they do this? Stop doing this. Fuck off. And they're in the beach where there's no teleport point close to them. And you cannot teleport to them. It just says navigation. You cannot teleport to it. Why the fuck? Such a simple thing to allow players to teleport there. Nope. Fuck's sake. But yeah. Oh my goodness. Like, I would go there and be like, oh yeah, gotta do this. Ugh. Oh man. So this time, this Windblume, there were 3 minigames. The first one is a Pac-Man ripoff, which is severely worse and incredibly boring than actual Pac-Man. Severely worse, absolutely horrendously boring. Oh my god, I cannot, no, I cannot take any reasons to say that this was good. Just go play Pac-Man. And it was so bad. Oh my goodness. Second is a rhythm minigame. We've seen this in like previous filler events, secondary events. It's a rhythm game with, it's just a rhythm game like Osumania, I think it's actually called. It's Osumania or like, I don't know, Utapri. That's the only other one that I've seen from my sister. Utapri. That's about it, and it has tracks from Genshin, of course. For the most part, it's okay, like it's a rhythm game. But I do feel like the beat maps on some of the songs kind of sucked. Having watched a ton of Osu, I can get a good feeling of a decent beat map, which is just notes being tied well into the song. Not about timing of the, not about like the timings of like latency or something. It's just feeling the rhythm of a song through the notes that you're playing and through you just playing with the things, or if it's on mobile or keyboard or whatever. And yeah, like I felt that in some of the tracks that were given to us this time, it felt like the notes just did not match to the rhythm of the song. It kind of felt like I was playing whatever kind of rhythm. Like they also make you like choose the instrument, which doesn't change anything. And it's like, again, it's pretty weird. I don't know. I think they tried to have a beat map that corresponds to all of the instruments you can play. Like you can play the small lyre, the guitar, I think, and the drum, and they tried to merge like the notes into one beat map, and it feels really weird again. But this wasn't true for all of the tracks. Some of them were pretty fine, and it didn't ruin the experience. Like it didn't completely destroy it. It wasn't the whole beat map that was bad. It was certain segments of it. But it was okay. Like we've seen this rhythm stuff before. It's okay. And lastly, it's the last minigame was photo taking, which we have seen again as a secondary event. It was just this photo taking. I think it was also a few patches before, and it was okay then. But now, taking a whole spot from the main event as one of the minigames makes it just severely boring. There was nothing interesting to it. And why the fuck do they give you a separate camera gadget? Why? We have had so many temporary gadgets that expired. Like, okay, if it's severely case sensitive, it's a camera. We've had like 50 cameras before. Please stop giving gadgets for the simplest things. Why can you not use the regular camera? What does this Windblume camera have in special things? You are a $1 billion company. There's no way you cannot hire good programmers. If this was a programming problem, there's no fucking way you cannot get some better programmers. Come the fuck on. Like, why are there camera gadgets? Why are there temporary camera gadgets? What's wrong with the regular camera? And this camera doesn't put any special filters. Like, we've had the weird camera that is permanent, by the way, to your account, that gives like these weird filters or something. This one didn't. But these gadgets make me so annoyed, like it's insane. Imagine not having finished exploration on the desert and doing other things, and then going back to Windblume and be like, and you get the prompt, please equip the camera first, and you're like, switching from the compass to the camera, to the compass to the camera. This really pissed me off, like, no joke, because it's a fucking camera. Ay. And those were the minigames for this Windblume. Holy fuck, were they so bad. This is, again, just such a new low. This whole patch What is up? What happened? What happened? Did Lantern Ride like did your Chinese New Year take off from your ideas or something? Daisha sucked major dick, and this event is one of the worst for sure. Like, what the fuck? Oh man, like yeah, like story wise, like good. Story wise was fine. Why do they not give a fuck about the gameplay? This is a game. You're playing a game first and foremost. God damn it. Yeah. So with that done, with Windblume done, let's take a look at the Archon quest with dainslief. It was interesting. I can tell you that it was definitely interesting. Dainslief quests are always kind of interesting, but it kind of felt weird. A lot of things were revealed in this Archon quest, but I believe a lot of people wanted more Kaeya and dainslief interactions. When it was revealed that we will see Kaeya and dainslief interact, everybody was losing their minds on some sort of crazy interaction, lore bomb or something. We got that, but both of them, dainslief and Kaeya, show up for 2 scenes, like separate or together, and that's it. They're gone. They're just gone, never to be seen again. And we kind of need dainslief because he's the expedition machine, for Kaenria. Like, if he is not there, we ain't learning anything new. We're not getting any explanations if he's not there. I'm happy to see a segment. There's a big segment where the Traveler is completely alone. Nice one. And the Traveler had voice acting. Absolutely insane. Oh my god, what happened to the MiHoYo employees? The Traveler gets voice acting? That's insane. The end of the universe is upon us, just so you know. Like, yeah. Although they voiced some of the most random stuff sometimes. They voiced a yawn, but not some dialogue. They voiced like a grunt or something, and they didn't voice like inner thoughts or something like, why do half of the job? Yeah. But yeah, it's the thing that this Archon quest, alongside other ones really with dainslief, it just leaves you with more questions than it gives you answers. And we're more than half done with the game. We're at 4. We're done with 4 out of 7 nations. Right, the end of the game is upon us. Not fully, but again, we're halfway done. We're more than halfway done, and we really need to start revealing more things. I think I mentioned this in the Sumeru Archon quest, right? We had the talk with Nahida and Dotore, where lots of things were revealed to Nahida, but not to the player. And like again, reveal things to the player. Maybe not the Traveler necessarily, but again, we're more than halfway done, and we know jack shit. And do it within the story that the player is experiencing, not through random ass things in the world, because players are not gonna read those. Please, for fuck's sake. And for me, I didn't like that the Archon quest was stuck in the past. It did not move the story forwards. It did not move the sibling story forwards, and it was just full on the past. At the end of the Archon quest, nothing really matters for what happened. You're like thrown back into the present, and like nothing mattered. You just learned something that happened, an event that happened at some point. No questions answered, no nothing. Is just the past, and that's why I didn't like that. It felt just again like it felt like nothing happened. Like this was not necessarily filler, but nothing. Just nothing. Just a waste of time of a dainslief quest. See you in 1 year, dainslief. That's it. Huge shout out to the Japanese voice actor for Ade. I think that was his name. Well, there's a reveal at the end, but I'll use the NPC name. This man gave his all. Holy, some of his deliveries are absolutely insane. He did such a good job. Insane. Mwah. Very, very good. Bring him back. This man, holy shit. I would guess also the direction was good. Please give us more good voice direction, because holy was that, mamma mia, this man just gave his all. Really good. And that's it. This whole patch is very, very boring. It was pretty boring with nothing really impressive. Again, the Archon quest was decent. It revealed some stuff, but again, very focused on the past and more questions than answers. The Windblume event had a decent story, but the gameplay was hot garbage. Severely hot garbage. And I do not take any reasons. There's no way you can tell me, even as a casual player, that the Windblume was fun. Like, just fun. Well designed? Fun though? Oh no, it was so boring. Come on. And that's it. Let's hope 3.6 is better, which kind of seems like it will be better, because more thought has been put into Kava than they should, to be honest, from what I've seen. Holy fuck, these people, these developers and designers, what goes in their minds is beyond the universe. Like, holy shit. 100% alongside the meaning of life and everything, all of those universe questions, what the fuck goes through MiHoYo's designers and everything is alongside those questions. Holy shit. And that's it from me. This was severely short because it sucked. There was nothing really interesting to talk about, and there was nothing really super bad that ruined the experience. It was just really boring. That's it. So yeah, thank you for watching. We'll be back with some other Genshin. Oh, we should have a new Abyss video coming up, because the Abyss is gonna change in the 16th of the month. Can't wait for Baizu and Kave, that's for sure. Do join in the streams. The background footage was from the streams. We do them daily. Definitely on the weekdays. Sometimes we do some streams on the weekends. But yeah, we're playing a lot of Genshin, of course, always, Apex a lot, and other games. And we always have fun just chatting discussing lots of things. So please do join the streams, they're really nice. Subscribe to the channel, like the video to help the channel out, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.